you two are pretty much where we would start anyway, more specifically, you, Talia, because last time on When We Were Evil, like 3 months ago or whatever the last time we played
It's
was,
been a long time.
you guys had decided all on your own, because it's a very good idea, to try to trick one of the champions, the master of the mind, Beatrice Trice, Dr. Beatrice Trice. You wanted to trick her into entering Mavicos's mind because Mavicos had made a deal with Arthur to basically implant like a trap in your head, like a mind trap that you
Right.
can
Minecraft.
Jeff, wait. I'm so sorry to interrupt this. How stoked are you for the new Halo? I'm so excited.
I don't know what Halo is.
Are you excited for it?
I am so excited for it.
All right, good.
I know we literally called each other about
I know.
it.
The fact that I had just finished watching it and I called you, you're like, I'm watching it right now. I'm like,
Yeah, I literally haven't paused.
Like, I can't. But oh
That's
my god,
funny.
it
Gonna be
looks
so good.
like the good shit. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. So, Amanda's here. That's why I did that.
Yes,
Now,
Amanda.
Last time on When We Were Evil Ball Z, you had tricked Beatrice Price into entering Mavicos's mind, and then Mavicos has sprung the trap. Now, not only is it going to be very difficult for Beatrice to escape your mind, but you had in preparation after the last venture into the city of Red Nine, you had acquired a parasite kind of thing, this terrible creature that lives on you now, and it speaks to you sometimes. It like is in your head, but it doesn't really do much. It can do much. Did I ever give you what it can actually do?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. So you have it. All right. So this nasty thing, you asked if, because it has a link to your mind, if it would be able to help, and indeed it can. It just requested that you eat some brains, which you did, because you're evil and you just don't care. So you ate some brains, you powered them up, and then you brought Beatrice into your mind, with Esther waiting not too far away. As Arthur did say that if Beatrice wanted to get her body back or her mind back, her body must follow. So she must in some way get her body to come to where this is, and then the connection would be much stronger and she would have a better chance of getting her mind back. In which Esther is waiting to do, I don't know, whatever dumb, crazy shit he likes to pull on my bosses.
Wait, no. What was my plan? This is like 2
So
months
anyway,
ago. Yeah, no. Okay. Pressure makes diamonds.
Look over your spells. It had begun. Beatrice did indeed enter your mind as you kind of called out to her.
Right.
Almost offering that you were interested in what she was speaking about last time, which was essentially trying to get you to turn against the group.
Oh, I remember.
With pretty convincing points that make a lot of sense. So you called her in. She arrived, turning the kind of inner sanctum of your mind into her office, which is something that she does in order to make you feel safer, of course. And as she spoke to you very plainly, you did a little bit of small talk and then revealed that it was indeed a trap. The walls of her office fell away, or rather torn away, by toxicity, this horrific thing that's living in your mind. And you can see that what he's done with your mind is turn it into this acidic, poisonous hellscape. And he is basically like this massive, like, blob with teeth and fucking claws, and he like is the walls of your mind. And he's gigantic. So you essentially have the aid of this big ass monster inside your head because you just went into a horrible radioactive city and acquired him. And I think we can pick up there if we want, but let me ask before we begin, is there anything that Astrid was doing, anything that you were interested in having her do before we focus on the fight with Mavicos and Esther?
You're okay.
I'm all good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll bring you back in.
You don't have to. It's all right. Go ahead.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
They're making a Scream 5.
Yeah.
You want to read about that? Is that why you don't want to play it? Are you reading about it right now? Yeah, okay. All right, so while Amanda reads about Scream 5, which, oh boy, am I excited for that. Yeah, they're really good movies. So, I guess we will open up. We will open up right there. Mavicos, you are. Oh, I forgot also where you guys are is right out, like literally right in the courtyard of the castle. So you are completely in your element, in your environment, waiting for her to come here. So Jeff, you do have control over the area of the grass around you and everything. All right, Talia. This I would consider this hardcore a like surprise round as Beatrice was sitting at this desk, totally believing she was in control, and was completely caught off guard by this crazy trap that you've done. As it's not a regular thing, as if you remember, Arthur invented this spell. So she is startled, to say the least. And is quite taken aback. And you were right, like, in her face. If you recall, you put your hands on her desk and said some smart-ass shit. I can't remember what you said. And then the walls exploded with a giant...
I can't remember what I said either.
My monster. So, the way that this is going to work is everybody... What, Jeff? I can't hear you when you talk over the game master.
Who's that?
How dare you?
Man.
Well, actually, I'm the dungeon master.
The dungeon.
We're playing Dungeons.
Dunkin's the Donuts.
Now there's an RPG that they would buy. They'd
So
probably
delicious.
It can have cute graphics. Stop. We need to focus. What are you saying?
You're bringing this hell demon to us, so let's get this ball rolling.
Talia, you're sitting there, you're in your own mind, toxicity is behind you, ready to fucking lunge at her. He
gonna
probably
play that song right now.
And you're sitting right there. You have whatever you want to have because this is your mind. And as of right now, you are in control, especially after feeding him.
So that answers my first question for sure. My second question would be, since I'm in my mind, toxicity wouldn't be a part of me like he was before, right?
Okay.
Like he wouldn't be physically connected to my body. Is that a correct thing to say? Like he's his own agent.
I'm imagining him all around, and you can look like whatever you want. In your mind, you can look like normal Mavicos before the parasite, or you can look like a beautiful angel man, or you can look like a giant crab with a top hat, which would be pretty cool.
Man.
You can turn into whatever you want. Now that you have shattered Beatrice's temporary control, she's scuttled, and you're like, boom, hello. So you can look like whatever you want.
And you said that I was pretty close to her, physically, I was right in front of her.
Face, yeah.
So Mav, before he got infected with toxicity, did have some little horns. I'm imagining in this, if the DM is okay with it, he looks pretty much like how he used to. Okay. Maybe a little more distorted just because of how people view themselves. Just thinking of it that way. For in someone's mind, if you think you're hot shit, you're probably going to look like more hot shit in your brain. Or if you have a bad self-esteem, you look like a pile of steaming garbage in your brain, right?
Right.
I imagine Mav probably thinks he's a little hotter shit than he is. I want to try and have him duck his head and get his horns underneath her jaw.
Ooh.
To try to hold her in place, because he's gonna just fucking go for it and try to weaken her as much as he can. Full trike, like his mom. You know how she impales shit? Right. He's just gonna do the opposite of that. Is he's gonna impale himself through her as much as he can.
Okay. Let me ask you this: are you you're looking to hold her with your horns, jam her with your horns, and hold her almost like the bad guy from Hot Fuzz? I'd say his end goal is hold her there so that his hands are free to rip and tear and do whatever he needs to. All right. Well, I'll ask you. I'll say this. Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. That sounds awesome. No, I don't see any issue with that. Now, the way that shit worked in the mind, if you remember, is you're not attacking the person's health. You're attacking their wisdom. because that's what like you're using in like Mindscapes, which I think is like a fun little rule. Now you don't have a whole lot of health, but you're fast and nasty, or a lot of wisdom. She has a good amount of wisdom, so just start fucking tearing away. Let's say we'll do this. I'll consider this.
It's up to you.
So this isn't a stealth attack, but it would be considered a surprise. So I'll add stealth damage to it, which is just plus
Okay.
like 2. Let me get a calculator out. Let me put her health on there. And then what's your unarmed damage that you do?
I get something with my armor, but if we're not doing armor,
It should say it under actions. Oh yeah, your armor wouldn't apply here, I don't think.
No, I agree. Actions, smash. Actions in combat. I am not seeing it under there, but I
Okay.
can probably Google it really quickly.
Well, nah, don't worry about it. I will say for this, I want you to roll. What's your dexterity?
Base or what I get plus on?
What your plus to it is?
My plus is 5. If it's a saving throw, it's 11.
A 5. Okay, so we will say that I want you to roll a d6 and then add your dexterity to it, and that's how much damage you're gonna do.
I rolled a 1 plus 5 would be 6 damage.
Okay, so minus 6. As you fucking gore her and just start ripping at her, like her stomach, as she's like, like blood shoots out of her mouth and it starts ripping at her stomach. And the blood is sort of this like glowing blue, ethereal type of stuff that's kind of spewing out. So it's a little bit different. Now, while you're doing that, what do you want to have Toxicity do? As she is looking up, you've forced her face to look up at Toxicity towering over above, almost like if you ever played Arkham Asylum, what the Scarecrow looked like when he's like, rah, rah, rah.
I've
That's like
seen it.
what he looks like. You made a hellscape out of your mind because of that.
I'm gonna have Toxicity start to like create a pool around us. So should she get out of my grasp, she'd be on poison. She'd be like, ouch, you like.
My
I see he's turning the whole area into acid.
I want her to not be able to not be taking damage at any given point.
Okay, very good.
If that's
very good.
acid rain, if that's an acid pool.
I love it. So he is gonna do that. I am gonna go ahead and just roll. Well, that was terrible, but that's okay. So the acid pool starts forming around her. As you can see, her feet sink into it as you're slashing at her. And she just starts like, holy shit! And she's burning in this horrible nonsense. And she is going to attempt to escape, but she will have to roll very high.
Escape my mind or escape being
No way.
giggity got?
Escape your mind. But
Okay.
it's very, very hard. You know how I usually give you guys like sometimes you'll have bullshit things that you have to beat? That's what she has to deal with right now. She has really good stats, but you know.
But it's still bullshit.
This is designed, you designed this to beat her ass, and that's exactly what it's doing. So she cannot escape that way. So what she is going to do is she is going to create in her hand as you are slashing at her and as she's melting, in a panic, you can see her like as she tried to escape and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so she holds out her pen that she was on her board with, and she clicks it, and you hear it go beep, 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 and she goes to swing it into you, like stab it into you, and it's beeping like a bomb.
Oh, great.
Okay. Now we are going to do, let's keep the same AC. So she did 9 plus 3, so 10, 11, 12. What's your AC? I think it's very good.
My like AC?
Your normal AC, yeah.
19.
19, so no way. So she swings, but she just kind of like hits her hand on your shoulder. She's panicking, and the pen lands behind you, like beep, 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 and it does explode like a bomb. But it's not going to do nearly as much damage because she missed. It's only going to do half. So you take 3 damage to your wisdom.
Okay, so
from whatever your wisdom.
Remind me. So my base wisdom score
I
is
believe
11.
it's 11. Yeah.
It's 11. So that would be minus 3.
Mm-hmm. And that's how much like health you have in the mind. I gotta look up if someone's made rules for this in D&D, because if we do it in other campaigns, it would be cool to make it like legit. You know what I mean? Like, this is how your brain works when you fight it.
So, also remind me really quickly, if I fall to 0, do I just wake up, or am I just like brain dead?
So I'm still fucking with that. I think you'll wake up, but I think you'll wake up with like half health or something. If like there has to be some kind of,
there has to be a consequence.
It's not like you're bleeding, but you're like fucking exhausted. So you are hurting her. You know what I mean? Like the more you fuck her up, if you're able to kill her in your mind, you might kill her because she has some weird shit going on, or she'll pop back out and be like, good golly, you know what I mean? Like really fucked up.
I feel like I bring this anime up every time we play D&D, but it's relevant. Have you ever seen My Hero Academia?
Yeah, I fucking love it so much. But
I showed that to Evan.
No, it's relevant. It's like you know the electric boy who he's like, hey, I'm a cool guy, but if he uses his 10,000 volts, he turns into a stupid idiot. He's like, That's also kind of what I imagine it could be like coming out of
his own mind. Yeah.
Exactly, just coming out, just like just drooling, like not being able to do anything. Is what I also imagine. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Thank you for explaining that.
So she does that damage to you. And you can feel it kind of boom. It will roll for me Constitution saving throw. What's each one?
Saving?
Saving throw, Constitution.
Oh, I'm rolling so bad. 6.
6. So you are blasted away from each other. She is separated from you, but she does fall more into the acid as she's like, fuck! And she stands up and rips her jacket, and she had like a business jacket. Is that my phone? Sorry, as she rips off her jacket as it's like sizzling and going away. As she gets back up, so she's gonna take another. Let's do 2. Nice. You whittled it. That was a good surprise. And she just and she seems a bit hurt, but that was her attack to get away from you like that. Now you guys are maybe about 10 feet apart, so you'd have to like rush her. If that's what you want to do, it is your own mind. So the environment can change to your will.
So
she is still.
Sorry, are we good?
What?
No, I'm gonna let her fight because it's all mental. But like, am I just standing in the courtyard watching Mav just like
just sloth squatting?
Like. No, actually, I mentioned that I got caught up in the comment, but I did mean to say after the bomb explodes and you guys separate, and you're like. You like each you're getting hurt. Esther, you are just standing there and you're watching Mav. Mav is kind of, I think I recall you like sat like Indian style, almost like a you wanted to like meditate or whatever.
He's never meditated before, so he's like squatting on the ground like.
That's right.
Yeah. So you're watching Mav do that, and every once in a while he goes. Like and his hands start doing this when he starts to slash her. So he just like looks like he's having a weird dream.
Okay, so I'm just like I have my wings out. I'm flying like 20 feet in the above in the courtyard, just watching Mav freak out.
As you do so, one of the goblins comes walking over with an ice cream and looks at Mav and looks up at you and looks back at Mav and tries to feed Mav the ice cream while looking at you.
Does he?
He's trying to. You roll wisdom saving throw to see if you can notice the ice cream. To see if you can tell that someone's trying to feed you ice cream.
9. I am refreshing this page.
9? I think nine's just enough to be like, there's something that tastes pretty good. Like instinctually, you don't know what's happening, but you're like, what is that? It's sweet. Oh my god, I like it. Do you want to start eating the ice cream?
Yes,
I'll try it.
Because because Mav eats a little bit of ice cream. I'm assuming he recognizes immediately what it is.
Right.
I want a large scoop of ice cream to fall on the woman to try to hold her in place.
All right, very good.
Because
so
Matt loves ice cream. It's one of his favorite topside things, right?
It is. So you're like, you get a +1 of your health back, your little wisdom.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, there you go. Because it was refreshing and good, and you're in a better mood. And you summon a great glob of ice cream to fall on her. So you're trying to like restrain her with this ice cream.
Yes, exactly.
All right, just roll a.
Restricted ice cream.
Just roll a. You know what? You can do this, and it'll be like a decent amount of damage. If you want to combo and make this your attack and Toxicity's attack at the same time, then I'll double the damage.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so then I want you to roll, because it's just ice cream and it's not really an attack that's meant to really fuck her up and hold her, but a Toxicity will make it damaging. I want you to roll 1d4 and then times it by 2.
6.
That's not bad. Okay, so -12. Whew. As she throws her jacket.
No. It was 3 times 2 is 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's not possible for me to roll a 6.
That's not possible.
Okay.
Why am I trying to save this woman? I don't know, but here you go.
All right. So as you, that's okay. That's good. I like that. It makes the epic fight last longer. The epic ice cream acid fight. So as you form the ice cream and concentrate on it, she's throwing her jacket to the ground. And she goes, disgusting, ridiculous creature. I am offering you a way out. I am trying to make you better than what you were. I am trying to give you the opportunity to better yourself. And as she is screaming, you're like, ice cream. And the ice cream is forming over her head. And as it does, Toxicity is crawling across the ceiling of your head and vomits a bunch of acid into it. So then it turns this like sickly green, almost like mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip, which is the worst kind of ice cream. We can all agree it's the most disgusting. So this disgusting mint chocolate chip ice cream is forming above her head. And she goes, but I can see that you are beyond saving. I thought you the more reasonable of the group. But I guess we'll just have to rid the world of you and all of your disgusting. And a piece of it then like falls on her shoulder, like, are you fucking kidding? And it and just kind of splashes and lands on her, and it's still sort of like, you know, that perfect scoop. It's like one of those. With
That's
like
what I'm imagining. Yeah.
But it's a perfect scoop, and Toxicity goes whack, and he spits out a cherry that like, and you can hear him go as he crawls into one of the horrible like putrescent holes in the, you know, like this spongy material of your mind, as it kind of hits there, and you can hear inside. So she's going to try to get out. Oh, you know what? That's what she's going to use. First, she's going to try to escape your mind again.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and roll for that. No, fuck. That's all right. So then she's going to try to break this thing, destroy this ice cream that is holding her. Well, I don't have to roll to hit it because she's going to be right there. So as you're... Oh, you know what? This is better. What's your AC again?
19.
Plus 10. That's 21. Okay, so I got an 11. So instead of trying to, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it with disadvantage. I'm going to do it with disadvantage because she can't see you. Let's cock. Okay. So 13. So she doesn't hit you. So from inside the ice cream, you see boom, 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 and huge chunks of it start blasting out as these beams start flying out of it. Like, whoa! You know what I mean? She suddenly has some sort of weapon. So she destroys enough of a path where you can like see her climbing out, and she has this big fucking like gun. It just looks like a handgun, but it's huge and like intricate and beautiful looking. It has like kind of Aerostride sort of aesthetic with the gold and like kind of that's beautiful.
Praise him.
Climbing out, as you can see, like parts of her are sizzling. she's getting more hurt. You know, she's much more hurt than she was. I'll say that. You know?
So she's visibly hurt.
Yeah, you can see like it's starting to not only eat at her clothes, but it's eating at her skin and this form that she has, this sort of avatar that she's using. You can see like blue, almost like a like ethereal sort of skin underneath it. You know what I mean? Like this is a guy's that she's wearing, and it's burning her away. But she has this big fucking gun now, and she's climbing out of the ice cream, and she's trying to point it at you. What would you like to do? That was her turn, but she's using half of her turn to just try to get out of your mind, and she can't.
Okay, so if I'm going to just draw this really quickly.
Okay.
Oh, I say that. What?
You're still probably about 10 feet away from each other, because I don't think you really moved.
Okay. So let's see if I can get this. If this is the ice cream scoop.
Right.
Is she like sticking out of it?
No, I imagine she like blasted through it, and there's almost like 3 huge holes that are making almost like a doorway, and she's like sloshing her way through the doorway halfway out of it, trying to get a better shot at you.
Okay.
With this mind gun that she has.
Can I drop toxicity on her? Like the big boy? Can I just tell him to like land on her? I want to do that first, if that's okay, and then take Mav's turn after we see what happens with that.
Okay. Is this like an attack, or are you trying to hold her down? Or you just want to do damage?
Plan is damage right now.
Damage? Okay. So
damage is the plan.
Now, you can talk to him without really talking to him. So as you tell him to, you hear, you actually, because you're in your head, you hear echoing through the whole thing, you got it. And you look up, and she can't quite, she's fixated on you, and she doesn't see that through one of those spongy holes, you see him like form, and he starts changing, and he launches himself off, and he morphs his weird sort of gooey amorphous body into what looks like a nuke. As he just
okay.
and like falls down, and you see as she just sort of steps out, she points the gun at you, looks up and goes, what the, and it's sort of this big ass fucking explosion. So I'm gonna do this twice, because now you're outright asking him to attack, and he does a good amount of damage. So that wasn't too bad. 2d6, I only got 4 out of it, but still. He does 2d6 every time he attacks her of mind damage, and which she is running out of. So as it explodes, you can see her. She tried to jump out of the way last minute, gets blasted to the ground. She's kind of smoking this green sort of sizzly smoke. She's like, so she's been knocked prone.
Ice cream and barbecue.
That's right.
Before Mav takes an action, if he can manage to, tries to speak out loud to Esther.
Okay.
So, Esther?
Shit, what? Yeah.
Esther, there are now 7 goblins standing around.
I was kind of watching them, and I got distracted.
And watching them, and they keep looking to you for some sort of explanation, but I assume you just don't say anything and are just watching them. And so they go back. So now they have taken a drawing on him, and some of them are putting like I was gonna say flowers, but they're goblins, so they're just throwing like garbage around him, like almost like a little ceremonial thing. One has brought like a bunch of
tinfoil and shit.
Yeah, like random bits of things, like a spare tire and like nuts and bolts, and they're putting it there. And some of them are just sitting there watching, like expecting something to happen, like they want something to happen, they just don't know what.
I mean, they're not wrong.
But go on. So that's the scene that you're in.
Do I hear him after I say something?
You know, let's say yeah. Yeah, fuck
it. So I hear him say, what shit, what? All right.
Yeah.
Do we need her alive?
No.
I don't know how Draxia works. Okay.
I don't care at this point. It's personal now.
All right. I am going to have Mav go full mom again and just leap himself onto her and try to like tear at her with everything he's got, with his horns, with his claws.
Very
If you
well.
bring her
Especially
out, stand clear.
I don't think I can stand clear if she comes out of my mouth or something. Like we know it's gonna hurt when she comes out of me. We don't know how she's gonna come out of me. Like,
Just try to.
all right.
So you haul ass through the acid, which doesn't hurt you, as you're just running across it. Oh, I forgot. She has to take a little bit more acid because she's in it perpetually. Ooh, you chipping away. So as you and haul ass at her, you lunge at her. I want you to roll to hit.
Okay, so that would be D20 plus anything?
No, because you're not really trained in the ways of fighting in your mind. You've never done it before. So I don't. You don't have any. What'd you get?
I crit failed. It's a 1.
Good. That's good.
That's not good.
That's good. That gives me sweet good joy. So as you go to do that, she is going to go ahead and roll to hit you with advantage. Is she normal roll because she's prone. You fuck up. She knows you're coming. She hears you coming. It's cocked.
It's just a mess all around.
Okay. Oh yeah. Does a 26 hit you?
Yeah, 26 hits me, Evan.
So as she is trained in the ways of fighting the mind, though you have utilized that surprise attack to the best of your advantage, causing constant damage, and you fed him brains, so you have 2v1. But she does stand up as you come rushing at her. She kind of rolls to the side, and suddenly from her chest, she pulls what appears to be this like hooked, beautiful sort of like cutlass sword. And she thrusts it into you. And that is going to cause... Where's my D? Is that the D8? I never know which one the D8 is. That is going to cause 6 plus 3 damage. So she and just shoves it. The one attack she's able to land on you, but it's ooh, and you realize now why she is called the master of the mind. She's good at this, but you've been beating her ass so far. So now you guys are closer to being even. But she shoves that shit into your chest.
What do you mean closer to being even? I'm done. I had 8 left. She just did 9 damage. I had 8.
Goodness.
So that's what I'm saying. Like.
So as she rolls and she shoves it into your chest, she grabs like the back of your head as you're like, and she pulls you closer, like on it, and she goes, "I will not stop until all creatures like you are rid from this world, one piece at a time. I heard you speaking to your friend. Is he out there?" Yeah.
Mav pretends to keep choking. Just
and she goes, "Well then, I guess it's about time I meet him." And she twists the blade so that the sharp, it's like, but the sharp part is up. But she twists it around and she goes, "Normally, dying in here only renders you useless or unconscious." And she slides the blade up a little bit. And she goes, "But I am the master of the mind. Through error strides light," and she pushes it up further. "Through his power, I have been given the ability to slay men without ever even touching them.
Oh boy.
You will die here." And as she is saying that, from the acid behind her rises toxicity, and you can see him like, and he kind of spindles out like all these like sharp needle-like claws. But he's looking to you like you still control him. So he's waiting like, do I attack her?
Can I? Because Arthur put the thing in my brain.
Yes.
To kick her out, right?
You can release her whenever you want.
My body is the vessel for that thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're in control of that trap. You can unspring the trap whenever you want.
I want to tell Toxicity to do that. I want him.
The trap.
to just spit her out in the real world through whatever means that means for myself.
Okay, so you're desperately trying to get away from her.
I think what Mav is thinking is if he is actually going to die here, then at the very least he knows Esther can do some weird-ass fucking dragon shit and have a better chance at killing her than he can of trying to get out of this alive. So for him, it's not a self-preservation thing. It's a get her out so she can be killed thing.
Yeah, fuck her even more than anything else.
Exactly.
I like it. You can absolutely do that. I will say, if you'd like to take the chance, she is also quite weak. You guys really did a number on her.
But I'm also technically already past dead, so I think
you're not dead yet.
He's giving you the chance, though.
I'm not killing you
yet. Launch.
Yeah, I'm not killing you just yet. But she's about to, like, cut your head off in your brain or whatever and fucking kill you. But if you'd like to take the chance, you may be able to end her.
Here's my question then. What would that look like? Would it be us rolling against each other?
No, it would literally, she's already fucked you up. You're done. You're not dead. She essentially rendered you unconscious, and she's about to kill you during your death saves, mechanically speaking, but narratively speaking, she's just working that blade up your ethereal form to your brain. If you really want, like, a fuck you too, she's quite low. And if you want, you can have Toxicity roll. He rolls pretty high for damage. He might also be able to off her before she's really able to kill you. He's right behind her, and she's so fixated on you. She's the audacity of what you've done.
Assuming that doesn't go well,
and
I die, and Toxicity dies, she does not pop out of my body. She goes back to her own.
No, because you sprung the trap, she has to come back. She will pop out.
She will pop out. Okay.
Yeah, that spell, otherwise she may very well be locked inside of the brain of a dead person.
Yeah.
Or your souls would be entwined. Or
Purgatory.
Kind of cool narrative shit I might want to make. That's actually a pretty cool concept. Maybe you guys have a soul.
Let me send you a webcomic about that, actually.
All in a dying demon's mind.
Okay. Then I will...
I only hear half of what Jeff says because he only talks when like 6 other people are speaking. That's what he's like.
Good.
And then he laughs at whatever he said, but I don't know what it was. So he's like,
it's okay.
It's like, what was that?
Okay, I'm gonna have Mav then again in more of a final fuck you than a self-preservation say to Toxicity, whatever it takes, and give him the okay.
Whatever it takes.
He lunges for her as she has this blade through you and is working it up as this like blue blood is kind of spilling out of you, destroying your ethereal form. And just as she's speaking of your death and whatever the fuck and droning on about Airstrad, whatever bullshit you want to whatever you take from her speech, you can see like 100 different little needle-like blades slam through her body, including her like left eye, as she and minus. And with 10 health left, but 11 damage done, she is out for the count. As she gets slammed through with all this, and she tries to like push it more, and then as her body just starts disintegrating around it, as you slide off of this blade that disappears. Esther, you are looking down. And what you see is Mav goes like rigid, and and all the goblins go and they all start clapping, and then he goes and they're all like yeah, like they're loving it, and he's in agonizing pain, and then you can see him cough up a bunch of blood and fall backwards to the ground, and the goblins go yeah as they like throw their like garbage and junk out, and one of them starts to go over to try to eat Mav. because he's dead now and they're goblins, and another goblin pushes him off and then instead starts putting garbage on top of Mav as sort of like a ceremonial burial or something. Stop it, Dad. I'm doing D&D. And then as you are watching this, from the ground near where Mav fell, you can see this kind of swirling energy, and you're like, I think that's somebody teleport. And boom, there's like an explosion, and on the ground, on all fours, coughing up blood, still very much alive, but quite hurt. Actually, I am going to assess her health right now. Is a woman in a business suit, business casual, in, what are some nice business casual lady shoes? Business casual lady.
Birkenstocks.
So what?
You're talking to the wrong person.
Did you say Christmas socks?
No, is it Birkenstocks? Isn't that a shoe? I don't know. I don't care.
Do I look like I ever dress business casual? I'd have no idea.
Either way,
Christmas
she lands to the ground, and as she does, like coughs up blood and stands up and very quickly looks at Mavakos, and you can see that as she like looks at Mavakos, looks back and sees you in the sky, and looks back to Mavakos and pulls a small blade that is like a letter opener out from her thing and rushes Mavakos. Mavakos, you are unconscious. You're a sleepy time. But
Oh boy.
when you are unconscious, sleepy time, toxicity is not. And as Beatrice rushes your body, one of the goblins squeals in pain as the half of you that you have coded toxicity in, right? I believe it was like almost like top half-ish.
It was like, the way I was thinking of it was he lost his horns to him, so he replaced the horns, and he's got like this mohawk of like gooey spines all
that's
the
so
way
much
down his
fucking
back.
cooler than what I was imagining. That's so dope. I love that.
Yeah.
So almost like a whip with a claw at the end. It grabs one of the goblins, and the goblin starts screaming as it just starts like melting it. And he sort of did this as a reaction, and you begin to like wake up as when he gets food, you get food. When you are unconscious, he can bring you back if there's nourishment around. And I will update your
That's a special surprise for later.
Yeah, I will
Mystery
update your
Mouse
toxicity
Cthulhu.
thing later, but he's quite cool. But Esther, you were aware of this, and you can act before Beatrice. She is like desperately like fuck you, and wants Mavakos quite dead. What are you going to do about it, you
My bad, bro.
little man? What are you gonna do about it?
So like she's closing the gap like 10 feet.
Yeah, you will have time. You can get to her before she gets to Mav. Absolutely.
I don't need to get to her. I want.
Okay. Oh shit! What are you gonna do?
I just
There's
want
about- Let's say there's about 10, 15 feet. Let's give you 15 feet to play with.
I just want to open a door where I got all the dragon energy goo.
I
All
remember.
the elemental energy.
I remember.
Oh
Just
no!
when she's just
You can use
running,
that on
I want to
this?
just open it right in front of her and just
Oh.
fire hose out.
I don't even know what that would be. Constitution, I think. Constitution. Yeah, that's not good. So as
It's
she
always the doors.
all right, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want you to do. You know what? No, you don't have to roll shit. She will have to roll. She will have to roll a dexterity saving throw, which she's not great at, and she will have to beat it because of the intensity and the outright bizarreness of this attack. I'll say that the difficulty is going to be high. She has to beat like a 17. Does that sound fair?
That's fine.
A 17 dexterity. Okay. She gets +3. So let's see. Amanda, would you like to take a look at what that is? Could you peek at my D20 before I touch it?
Oh,
She needs to get a 17.
I don't want to crush him. Pull it over. What did you roll? It's a 16.
No, it is not. It is that actually still would have mean that no, she still would have won if I rolled a 16. So I got a natural 18. So as this energy comes out, now she won't take no damage. She will take half damage. So let's say the damage would have been, I don't know, I'm going to just throw this out and say it would have been 100, and she will take 50. What element damage does she take? You choose whatever element came out of that prismatic nightmare. Just out of that.
I have something that it should be. Shit. I don't know. What's the light energy?
Radiant.
Radiant, yeah, do that.
You want it to be radiant just because fuck them and they're
yeah, why not?
Okay, as you open it up, this horrific cacophony of arcane energy blasts outward like a fucking beam and just keeps going as she, and it's almost just like the whole world is almost disappearing in the brightness of this beam as she lunges rather deceptively quickly out of the way, but it singes and seriously damages her body, blasting her left arm and leg really severely. As she jumps out of the way, this horrible beam just keeps going. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Dragon Ball Z, but it blasts through nearby mountains, blasts through some of the landscape, through a lake, through some rivers, goes across the ocean. And then as we see an outside shot of the planet, you just see this little light going
What was that?
from the earth as it just screams out this pure, raw, insane arcane energy that was left over from some great creature that was buried beneath Brightopolis. You decided to use it like a gun and shoot somebody with it. But she is very hurt and very surprised by that as she slams to the ground, just and she lifts up her hand. Is so badly burnt it is burnt to the bone. And her leg is destroyed and ravaged as she looks up to you, and she is going to. I would like you, Esther, to make a wisdom saving throw, please, as she reaches her good hand out to you.
Not 20 plus 3.
Fuck you! Are you fucking serious?
I will just take a screenshot.
Oh, all right, no, I believe you. God damn you son of a bitch, asshole, bastard, fucker. All right, so you dick. You're fine. You can feel her, even from down there, even after being viciously attacked, she reaches up and you can feel this cold grasp on your mind. And she feels like she's trying to lock down your body, and your joints begin to get stiff and you begin to get very cloudy vision. And you're like, oh my God. And it is sort of a mixture of this horrible, dizziness and sleepiness, but at the same time it really reminds you of when we were evil, re-educated.
Yeah.
And you can almost, it's that same sort of weird unearthly feeling, and that triggers. And what do you think of to blast yourself out of this? How are you able to shake this off as she is trying
flex and bust out?
But with your mind, what memory or thought allows you to flex and bust out?
Which thought?
Killing the bad drow lady that was hunting me.
The what?
Killing the bad drow in the Shadowland.
Okay. As you think about when you threw a tidal wave of zombies at this woman, when she grasped your heart with a shadow hand, trying to rip it from your chest, and instead you cut her down, I believe. You stabbed her. But I can't remember. I'd have to go back. I think Talia is broken.
At least she's smiling.
As you shake it from your head, knowing that you're not done yet. You're not going to fall to this. You have an entire, you got a whole thing you got going on. You got to go do a whole bunch of shit. You don't have time for this fucking crazy fuck. We lost
people to meet, babies to shake, hands to touch.
Internet died for me. Restarting, be right back. Did your internet die, Jeffrey?
No, but she's further away in the house.
Okay. So as you shake this free, you look down at her and she kind of looks back at you like, what the fuck? Like, how? And before we cut to a break, because this is a good time to take a quick break. What look does Esther shoot her after being able to shake off her thing and causing horrible damage to her body?
I think just cold indifference. I think he wants the goblins to smother her.
Oh, I
There's
love that.
Barbecue right now.
As she looks at you like kind of astonished, amazed, horribly angry. Remember, these champions have not been challenged in a very long time, and they have not met other things that could overpower them, especially so easily, so quickly. And as she looks at you, astonished, you look back with your cold, dead eyes as she realizes that she is now surrounded by a bunch of just shitty goblins with little random weapons and tools as they and she takes the small letter opener and just flips it around and goes, oh dear. And I think we will pause the game there, take a quick break. Let Talia assess her internet situation. So yeah, we decided 100 damage. That would have outright killed her. I think if it hit her, I think I would have let that just fucking disintegrate her body, because that's thinking about what all that energy is. She is not equipped for that. That's not her ball. Her game. She would be fucked by it. So
that was what I was trying to remember what I was setting up, and I almost forgot.
You were gonna wait for her to come up and then just open a door in her face. Like,
that's exactly what I was gonna do.
Smart. Awesome. Okay. Well, Amanda, stop looking at dogs. We have one. She wants to get another dog, and we've only had this one for like 2 weeks. And we're
get 2 more. Why stop it? I stop at 2 dogs. Get 3 more.
Do you guys think you should get another one?
I mean, a little one maybe. I don't think we get 2 big dogs, but more likely maybe a cat just to offset it.
No, not 2 big dogs.
If we had a yard, I'd 2 big dogs easily.
Yeah,
but there's just not enough room for them.
We do have a yard.
So you guys can get like 5 big dogs.
Yeah, we can get 5 big dogs.
What are we gonna do when we're sitting in a room like this and then all 5 dogs want to?
They're just running around you.
What's the problem? There's enough room.
There's not enough room for 5 dogs. There's not enough room in this entire house for 5 giant dogs.
I saw a TikTok of this girl going into her family's living room, and there were like 5 Great Danes like stretched out on the couches and stuff. It's like, good lord.
Wait, I'm gonna zoom the camera this way so it doesn't catch any of my sensitive material. But
oh my goodness.
I can't rock or I'll crush him. He's under the chair.
He's a tubby boy meatball. Rebar.
Little baby. He's the fucking best.
He is wonderful.
He's so awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the bathroom and grab more water, and then see what Talia is doing. Good job.
Yeah. Hello.
I am so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Computer just decides like on an hourly basis if it's gonna let my Wi-Fi extender do its thing or not. And that time it was like, no.
It is perfect. We took our break like right after that, so it's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, and Jeff filled me in, so we're Gucci.
Yes.
Death by Goblin?
Well, we'll see. She's still a champion, and there are only like 7 goblins, so we'll see.
Okay.
Hi, baby. Are you chilling on my chair? You're being so big. You're being so big.
You wipe the boogies out of your eyes. I talk to Amanda like this. Oh. No, please.
I tried and failed to send that GIF so badly.
Yeah, look at this delightful young. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys.
Oh, the baby. Chicken nugget. Hello.
You
You're
have
so
little
cute.
goblin ears, and I love it.
Gonna catch radio signals with those things.
Yeah. He's so goofy and floppy. Like when he runs around, he's like.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh,
like
it's the best.
He's got the hip ups.
You get the hiccups?
Oh.
I love it. He does have the hiccups.
Not yoga. Amanda, did you end up going to yoga on Thursday? No, neither did I. I thought about it, but it was just not working out. I want to go and see what's going on, but
Bagoo. Where is it? Where do they have it?
I think it's a local park, so probably like Smithville or something, from what I was understanding.
One of the parks.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man. Oh gosh. Oh dang.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Oh dang, a ring.
Hey guys.
Look at-
How you guys doing? Are we ready to get back into it?
What's D&D?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Jeff. I will tell you guys, I have been working a lot on
Dunkin'
the
Donuts?
campaign. I think it's gonna be very exciting.
I'm hyped.
The next campaign?
I'm putting a lot of work into it, and the map and stuff. It's looking good. It's looking good.
You should definitely share those resources with us so that we can appreciate and use them.
What, the map?
The map and stuff, yeah.
I will. Like the map I have for this When We Were Evil was never really fully flushed out because I was like,
Because
Of
bad
course.
game.
this was never even supposed to be like, you know what I mean? So
A campaign, right.
I was eternally always behind the 8 ball, and instead I focused on trying to like make the cities and the missions cooler.
Mhm.
But this one, I'm able to have enough time to really work on it and make both. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let us see your hard work. You know, like once we get there, share
I
it with
will
us. So
show
we can...
you. I will absolutely show you guys when it's ready.
Oh, why yarn? Why are you?
Okay.
Hang on,
So
give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
Oh, you're such a little cutie. Cutie patootie.
I love when I can like just touch his mouth and he rests his whole head on my hand, like he just wants to fall asleep on my hand. Ridiculous.
Sleepy boy.
I keep forgetting how young he is. He's so big. He's only, what is he, 4 months now?
No.
He's still 3 months old? Jesus, fuck. Grow up already. What the fuck is this?
No.
All right, this is gonna. I'll figure this out.
Are
Go
we-
ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. We're ready? Okay.
I'm all
So,
tangled. So that's fine.
So, the current situation. Esther, flying above, you just boss slammed the shit out of this champion after she had been brutalized inside of Mavakos's mind. Mavakos barely escaping with his own life, but the champion escaping and surviving. But lo and behold, you were waiting. You unleashed a torrent of energy hidden in one of her little pocket dimensions. You released pocket energy into her face, causing her a fuck ton of damage, and really, really hurting her very, very much.
She
So-
fucked around and found out.
The what?
She fucked around and found out.
She fucked around and found out. That's it. That's what's up. So she is looking very, very rough. And just as she is being surrounded by goblins, Mavakos, you are very hurt. You have 1 HP, but you do awaken, and you rise your head. You have a very dead goblin next to you, clutched by this the symbiotic entity that kind of lets go with these like hooked, gnarly sort of clawed appendage and curls back to being your badass fucking. I love that. I gotta like that's so.
I'll
I didn't
sketch it
know-
for you.
I thought you
I've
were
got a
going
whole
with,
sketch
like,
page.
I thought you're going with like a I'm 50-50 looking like two.
No.
But I
No,
love
no,
the
no.
idea of he's just like a crazy fucking mohawk head ornament on you, like he burnt his way on you. Oh, that's sick.
I'll show you what I've got.
So as you rise up, you can see a now very wounded but very real champion of Aristride, Beatrice Trice. Her left hand is rendered useless. It is burnt to a crisp. The hand is like charred bone. The rest is gnarled flesh. She has a knife in her right hand, and she is looking around desperately at what appears to be a bunch of goblins. You can feast on another goblin if you'd like and get more health, but you are stable and awake. You just have very, very little health.
And she's not paying attention to me at all.
She's aware of the situation. You're most definitely not an unknown entity to her. Like
Yeah, but I'm not like
or a sneak attack. She's in like she's as high alert as an individual could possibly be right now.
Okay. So my plan was to try to sneak attack with her, the dagger. But if she is aware enough of my awakeness,
it would be a normal attack. It would not be.
I will hold off on that.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. You know what? That's untrue. She is surrounded, which means she is flanked, which means you. I believe that counts towards rogues getting sneak attack, doesn't it?
Hmm?
When an enemy is flanked, I believe
That's
rogues get
up to
sneak
you.
attack.
If you think it's OP, then don't do it. That's it's the way it is.
I think this. I think you would have advantage on attacking her because I think that's the actual rule, and I think I added the sneak attack thing.
Sure.
I'm looking it up right now, but for the time being, we'll say that you get advantage on the attack.
Because she looks like she's hurting a lot anyways, right? Like half of her fucking body is gone at this point.
With ally flanking. She's very, very hurt. It's unclear if... Yes, despite the name flanking lets you sneak attack without actually being sneaky. When flanking someone with the help of an ally, your rogue has no need to be stealthy in order to benefit from the sneak attack ability. The ability's rules just let you do it.
Oh,
I didn't realize that when I surrounded her by goblins. But that
good
was my mistake.
to know.
Bad DM.
Are you okay with that, bad DM? Are you okay with me sneak attacking her?
Hey, don't worry. She's a champion. I got things.
Bad DM.
It's okay.
Bad
You
DM.
do you. You do you.
All right.
You're muted.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's see
Bad
here.
DM.
How do you do this?
He's gonna be aiming for the base of her skull with the dagger.
So
So with the strength he has, just
She's facing you. Do you want her to be turned around like facing Esther?
no, it's okay. If she's facing me, that's fine. I'll aim for right here. Like I'm aiming for
I like
anywhere
that.
where the brain is, like closer. You know.
Oh, I
So-
love it. Right in her third eye. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I always forget this. It's a D20 plus my hit DC, and then I roll for damage plus the sneak attack. Okay, where's my dice rolling? $19 to hit.
Fuck. Yeah, you got her.
I rolled in like 5, just to let you know.
Oh yeah, you have ridiculous. Yeah,
It's
right.
plus
I forgot.
14 to
You and
hit
Alex
for him.
both just never fucking miss. Yeah, you got
Hit
it.
or miss.
He doesn't miss.
Huh? And then oh, hang on. I need another 3d6.
Stop chewing on that goddamn cardboard box. Rebar. I love you. Look at your little face. Stop chewing on that fucking box.
52 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked Blurry. You guys are like, there we go.
There we go.
Goodbye.
All right, there we go.
You killed my boss. Goodbye. So, Amanda, can you tell me how much health she had left?
Out loud.
Yeah.
10.
So,
Okay.
with 10 health left after Esther's outlandish attack, she is looking around desperate and then sees you kind of slowly raise your head up. And do you just and like throw it like Assassin's Creed style, or do you make like a show of it?
I'm sorry, repeat that. My headset's falling off my head.
That's fine. Is this like a quick like she doesn't even see it coming, or does she fucking see this blade coming? Like, do you like?
I'll leave that up to you, because Mav technically isn't wouldn't be as fast as he usually is because he's literally at 1 HP, like, you know.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I got an idea for that. Then
Okay.
you are weak and hurt, but the will is strong, and you want her dead. She fucking almost killed you after all the shit you've been through. You grew up in fucking hell. You grew up in and this angelic asshole was about to kill you in your own mind. And that will is there, but your body is so just racked with exhaustion. You're so goddamn tired. And you barely lift your finger, and you feel this sort of creeping sensation around your hand as the symbiote kind of picks your hand up, like aiding you. You know what I mean? Like he's one with your mind. He understands what you want, and so he grabs the blade as it. Is it the Rakshasa's dagger?
Yes,
Rakshasa's dagger. Okay.
Yes.
As you, and with this sort of green slimy nastiness, you hear it. You hear his like sort of hissing voice in your mind, and he goes, "Killer."
Yes.
And the blade goes flying as she's looking, kind of her eyes darting between all the different targets that she has around her, now caught in a situation that she's not normally ever in. And as she looks around desperately, she locks in on the blade coming and just, you fuck, and it right in the center of her forehead as she
okay?
kind of slumps to the ground. What?
Is she okay?
She slumps to the ground on her knees and just onto her back. And the goblins go, ah! Because they were waiting for something to happen, and this was just the coolest ending to whatever they thought this show was. And they start just celebrating and jumping around on the ground, and one of them goes over and starts stabbing her good leg, like, and like trying to cut her foot off, and just like, yay! Like laughing hysterically, and they're all very, very joyous, and they're laying on the ground in the grass with blood soaking into the grass of the... There's grass in the courtyard, right? Of the Dust Keep, Jeff? Cool. Into the grass of the courtyard.
There is now.
This sort of deadish looking grass, probably, as the blood is just seeping out from her head. There lays the body of Beatrice Trice. Mav, you are still very, very weak.
Oh yeah.
Esther, what would you like to do? You do remember what the missions have always been, right?
About
what Draxi always wants? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take out my sword and go dunk.
Okay, you take out your sword and descend upon the body, and with the blade of spite, you whip out and you lop off Beatrice Trice's head. And as you do, you swing the blade down to see where you're looking. You cut into the neck, and just as the head severs, the wound where the knife is, you can see what does in fact open is a third eye forming and cut down the middle from this blade as it flicks open and flashes, slamming into your eyes and the eyes of all the goblins around you. And I would now like you to make a wisdom saving throw at a disadvantage, as you were not prepared for any kind of aftermath attack from this very dead woman.
14.
Okay. Esther, you, as soon as that blade comes down and that eye opens, there's a flash, and you're in darkness. Looking around. Just a void, an empty void. And you don't quite understand what's happened. Mavicos, you are able to sit up, very weak, very tired, and you look, and you see Esther standing over the body of Beatrice Trice as her head is kind of lolls to one side after being cut, and this third eye. You didn't see it form, but there is nothing special. It's just a knife in a head. But you see, as Esther stands there, he turns to you, and you can see what appears to be a third eye on his
Oh boy.
except glowing now a very bright blue. And he,
Uh-huh.
I thought you left because I didn't see you in the show. You're hiding yourself. As it is glowing a bright blue. And he looks to you, and you can see his eyes are shut, but this eye is open. And as he speaks, it is Esther's voice, and a familiar voice coupled with it.
I hate this motherfucking woman. Keep going.
And she says, I am the master of the mind. And she raises her hand, and around you, as you are in the courtyard of the Dust Keep,
Oh
Esther
no.
controls the Dust Keep. She is able to create these metal rungs that swing around you, trapping you in a sort of cage-like Iron Maiden. As she slams you up and out of the ground, towering up on like a chain and a thing, almost like, you know those like old torture things that they but it's very tightly wrapped. And she almost kind of closes her hand as it like tightens around you, and she flies with Esther's wings up to see you, and she looks at you and looks at the castle and just smiles. Astrid. Amanda, stop looking at her puppy. Astrid, where are you?
I guess the tree.
Okay, you're just making monsters?
Yeah.
Okay. Astrid, as you are sitting there creating little creatures, you are doing stuff when you hear pipe up in your mind, Astrid, and it's Sneak, the goblin. Astrid, Astrid.
He's gone.
What? You let go of him?
No, I didn't. But you.
Didn't you get getting wrecked by the big?
Oh, when you like got who do you still have that's anywhere near the Dust Keep?
Uh-oh.
No, you don't have anybody under control at the Dust Keep? Yeah, you do. You have to have somebody.
The Garistro's gone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Are you sure Sneak is gone?
I'm almost.
pretty sure you kept Sneak.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I don't
No,
know.
when you became a lich, you had to die. So everybody else got to roll to escape you, but it's still pretty high.
You told
Control.
me. You told me I lost some people. Hold on. I'm pulling up my character sheet. You're a menace.
He's the worst. Let's sell him.
No.
Give him back. Give him back to the rescue people.
Oh my goodness.
That actually happens. That breaks my
Yeah,
heart. I don't
that's
like that. I don't even like that. It's not even fun.
We're gonna do that to Boofer.
No,
That's good. Give him away. We'll take him. Give him to us.
he's a dumb baby.
He is a dumb baby.
He's like those birds that like to tear paper. And
Well,
then
you know,
put them in their fur.
either way, don't worry. We'll figure this out. You're at the tree, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as you are creating, are you down by the Lacuna pool, the healing pool, or up in your tower?
Yeah, because
You're in the Elder's Tower.
Yeah.
So as you are, you hear a knock on the door. Nobody ever disturbed you while you're in here.
Okay. I'll go and
Okay.
I'll open it.
You open it to see the very familiar. Stop eating cardboard. You see the very familiar visage of. You see the very familiar form of Tombstone, the metal-clad goblin, who is always standing guard. And as you open the door, you're kind of tall, quite tall, I believe. Actually, you look really tall, aren't you? Especially now that you float everywhere you go. You look down, and he tilts his little metal head up to see you. And from inside this like helmet, you hear, "There is something wrong."
What do you mean that there's something wrong?
Something at the castle.
Is the keep here?
It's nearby.
Come knock me the fuck out.
No, it's not. The keep is by the city. It's nearby.
Yeah.
But you can teleport to it.
Yeah,
What?
At the castle?
Are you asking him?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's wrong?
And he reaches into his this like little bag that he has on the side. He's like in like armor, so he's got stuff. And he pulls it out, and you see that it's like this shitty little mirror, almost like a beauty mirror. And he shakes it like a, you know, and he waits, and you can see that inside of the thing it goes kind of dark, and then words pop up.
Oh my goodness.
Like an 8-ball?
Like an 8-ball. And it goes trouble at the castle. And he goes, trouble at the castle. And he shakes it again, and you're just like, what is this? And it disappears, and then reappears, and goes, dummy. And he looks at it, dummy.
What is that?
He puts it down.
It's my sale mirror.
Sail mirror?
Yes, it tells me. It says all.
Okay.
It tells me secrets.
And then he shakes it again. What's your favorite color? What's Astrid's favorite color? Red, probably.
Yeah,
She's red.
sure.
It'd be the color of her, because she's
Yeah.
red. Your favorite color is red.
I want
Dummy.
I want to I guess like go over the comms.
Okay. What do you say?
Is everything okay?
Mavicos, you hear this in your comm, but so too does the possessed Esther. As it comes through, you hear what comes over the intercom thing is Esther's voice.
Oh, okay.
But it's strange.
Stop!
But it is.
Why didn't you just get rid of him?
But it's strange sounding, and you hear, I believe everything's just fine. In fact, I'm just doing a little renovation. Why don't you come and see?
Does Mav say anything?
Mav, you are tightly wound in here, but if you roll your either, I think acrobatics probably, to like,
Rebar.
and like, you know, tap into it, you can call. But it's like you scream, you know what I mean? You're like wrapped in metal, so you're like, ugh.
22.
Oh, yeah, okay. You actually, you just have the symbiote do it. I forgot about that. You can't or another appendage at all times. So he just, as you're trying and you're like, oh wait. And then he just points it at your ear.
I'm trying to find a shifty way to say that this is not okay. Mav's not smart. He just says, after all that, he's like half dead in this cage. He's just like, there's trouble in the chicken coop. And that's all he says.
You see the flying form of Esther as he has his hand out and he's reshaping the front of the castle. She's fucking up your whole business right now. Reshaping the front of the castle. He turns to you, or she turns to you at this point, like with the third eye glowing, like what? He goes, taps in. I guess you better come save the chicken coop.
All right, I guess I'm gonna go save the chicken coop.
Alex is not on the thing at all. You are unsure where he is, but he is not answered.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna teleport there?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as you teleport through, as you're like, you come walking. Do you bring anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my tyrant and my two Shisuba.
Knock me the fuck out.
So as you back out, Esther, I do believe that teleporter was in the courtyard, right?
I think so.
I think it was out on the grass because then it was easiest to get forces in.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, Astrid, you, boom, appear on the courtyard of the Duskkeep. And as you appear with your 2 Shasuba wolves and your tyrant, this massive man wrapped in this leather. Does he look kind of like, is he in like a big coat?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In a big leather coat.
Yeah.
Is he wearing his little hat?
Yeah.
Dope. So this giant man with his kind of horrible, very pale and empty sort of face as he stands there behind you and your 2 snarling wolves. And you come to find what appears to be probably like 300 or more of your soldiers, ones that fought in the war and ones that weren't destroyed and the ones that were just kind of putzing around the courtyard and gnolls and people. And all of their eyes are glowing blue. And they are surrounding the teleportation circle. They're not super tight on you. There's like a good 20-foot gap between you and them. But this was clearly a show of force in an attempt to frighten or scare you. And you can,
Wait.
as you look...
They're the soldiers that we took, or they're Esther's like people and
Not the ghosts, not all the spirits, because I can't remember. You mean the broken souls that live inside them? No, all the people that were in the fight,
like the prison, like my people,
like the soldiers that you used and threw at Brightopolis. A bunch of the gnolls and a bunch of the ex-prisoners.
my people.
Yeah, you don't have super mind control over all of them, but yes, those are the ones in Brightopolis. They are currently, you were mind controlling them.
Yeah.
But they're still in the city.
Okay.
They're in the city. That's not. This is a couple miles out in the. These were like all the soldiers that came back after the war, after the fight. They were of their own mind. They weren't under your control.
Okay.
So that's what you're. This dog. That's what you're looking at, and you are looking at just a shit ton. And as you can see, Esther floating above the ground, flying, and you can see the castle being reformed and reshaped into a massive, glorious symbol of Erestrai, as it is kind of golden metal and the large wings made of stone stretching out. And she's just finished making the top look like that as she puts it on. You see the Esther's raven come flying out, the Voth raven, confused by all the commotion. And you can see he holds his hand out for the raven, but as it flies, it like because it can understand and have this sort of nose. You can see that. Okay, you can see that he has the same glowing sort of blue eye in the center of his forehead.
The raven does?
No, Esther does.
Oh yeah.
As he's floating, it's like a sea of these blue-eyed, soldiers, and then him floating in the air with his own. And as he sits there, as the Voth raven refuses to land on him, I think he slashes spite at it. And that's actually a natural 20. I think. What's it? Can you do your damage on spite, buddy?
For what? Just a normal
Just
hit?
roll damage for me. Just for a normal slash.
3.
Or the 3?
For just a... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was hit. It is 6.
6? Okay. Slashes at the Voth raven and terribly wounds it as it
Who did?
and soars to the ground. Esther.
I'm gonna feeble mind him.
I'm going to need some Tylenol.
Oh,
I'm going to need some Excedrin after all this.
Just throwing Esther's mind.
You and me both. You're gonna be so fucking done.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What is she going to roll?
She needs to make an intelligence 20.
Okay. That is cocked.
Yeah.
It was cocked.
Yeah.
It was cocked.
Uh-huh.
It was cocked. Hold on. Let me get all the other dice out of here. Yeah.
Yes, baby.
No! Come here, baby.
What is he doing?
He's pulling at the bell.
Oh, he's my sweet bowl.
Alright, roll.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
So that is a 22 plus 10. She gets plus 10 to her intelligence and plus 10 to her wisdom.
Okay.
So that is your attack.
Yeah.
Do you tell your boys to do anything?
Hi, baby. Hi,
He's
buddy. What are you looking at me?
flying in the air.
Yes.
He's a big fat baby.
You also have the 200 to 300 plus soldiers that are ready to just tear you to pieces.
Well, no, I can basically float.
Oh. Okay. Some of them have guns, but that's okay.
We're fucked. Oh my god, my back.
Esther, because an attack was made against you, and she actually had to roll to fight it, I would like you to make another wisdom save, please.
21.
Nice.
21.
Not good enough. So, not good enough. So you, this is her biggest, this is like her ult. If you have powers, this is her ultimate power. So you are in that dark abyss, and now you at least grasp the understanding of where you are and what is happening. You can see now what she is doing. You can see out of your own eyes as Esther's eyes open, and they are your eyes. You are controlling them. You look where you want to look, but that third eye above you is what is controlling you and all your abilities. As you kind of look over, and you can see this huge battlefield.
Physically see an eye.
You are aware of it. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of, you have a little bit of your sense back, but you have no control. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to make it like oh, I'm possessed.
Am I physically in a black abyss still, or am I just like locked in seeing normal
You're locked
vision?
in seeing
Gotcha.
everything.
Can I flex and bust out?
You can't. You just tried to flex and bust out. Unfortunately, she did flex harder than you and busted you back in.
Oh, nobody like that.
I guess I don't know. I'll tell them to restrain him, I guess.
The tyrant or the Tushisuba?
The Tushisuba can stay with me, but yeah.
So Esther's pretty high in the air.
Yeah, whatever. Any way you can.
So he looks at you, and he looks up at Esther in the sky, and he immediately starts grabbing people and throwing them at Esther because he can't. There's no way that he can't figure a way. So people start fighting him, but he is killing them and throwing them. This massive man grabs people with such force that he's able to break their bones, like break their arms with his grip, and throw them like rag dolls as they are not quite making it. And the possessed Esther kind of floats backwards like, stop it. What is that? No, don't do that.
Hey, stop that.
As he
Stop
is
that.
as he is floating backwards. Mav, you
Yes.
are essentially in a little prison.
With one health. It's not looking great for me, not gonna lie.
So you're wrapped up in this metal. It was sort of a hasty thing. She is simultaneously doing a lot of things at once. She is in super desperation survival mode right now. And you do notice you may be able to get out of this if there are certain parts of it that aren't quite as strong as others. And you could do it either like and try to like get your way out of the metal with the suit and with the symbiote helping you, or you could try to get out like sneakily if you'd like. Almost, I would guess we would do it like a lockpick or a sleight of hand sort of check.
So we're at the keep.
Yeah, you're at.
And I went there way before. I went there with intention of being at the keep. We just didn't happen to be at the keep. I want to summon my Canalith to me. I want to call him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. You whistle.
Yeah, you know.
And as you're like, damn boy, kind of see your face out. You see, and it looks up at you.
I would love if he could grapple Esther Crazy Lady with his long ass tongue.
How long of a reach does that tongue have?
Esther
Let's see.
Crazy Lady.
Esther Crazy Lady. Let's see. Dimensional lock, magic resistance, magic weapons, uncanny senses, ranged companions. 30 feet, one target.
Fuck. That was exactly how far I thought Esther would be. Okay. So give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
You're gonna have to remind me how that would work, like what I need to roll. But
That's okay.
plus 7 hit. Hit is that damage. Target is medium or smaller. Is grappled. DC.
Let me pull up Esther's stats because he's going to have to try to escape you. But I'm in control. I'm in control. Okay, so what does he have to do to do that?
So I have to hit, I think. And then the escape DC is 15.
Jeff, your armor class fucking sucks.
I'm a glass cannon. What do you want from
You
me?
really are. What in the fuck? Okay, so go ahead and try to roll to hit him because you probably will.
Okay. Sorry, my bra is falling apart while we're doing
He
this.
is like exactly 30 feet in the air.
I can screenshot it if you want me to. It's a nat 20 plus 7.
Dope. So
Fuck me up, boys.
as
I'm trying not to.
No, it's fine. As he's flying above, you can see that he is starting to command the forces to just charge upon Astrid and descend upon her as she only brought 3 things with her, but they start fucking some shit up as these enemies start closing in. I assume she's not worried. You know, she's just like, ugh. And did not notice the Canalith just come trotting along through the hordes of enemies and just black and unleashes its tongue, wrapping around him. And as it kind of ties around his legs as his wings are trying to like fly away, but it's just like, fuck, get away from me, like kind of stuck, and starts to reel him in. As it starts to reel him in, the tyrant that you have created notices and starts charging through and just kills everything in its way, snapping necks and throwing people to the ground and just backhanding them out of this way. As this massive man is just dead-faced charging as Esther is struggling to get out. So Mav, we'll say that's your turn. That was pretty smart.
What else is she gonna do?
That was pretty good. Okay.
Esther's still fucked.
We're working on it. We're all a little fucked.
What is the? Can you tell me what is the way to break out? What does he have to do? Strength?
It just says escape DC 15, so I would imagine it has to be strength. But let me look at the grapple rules.
Flex and bust out.
I think it can usually be strength or athletics.
Grapple. Let me see. Grappling.
Come here.
Scrappling.
How do I grapple? What does it mean? I've been grappled. Now what? Grapple doesn't even sound like a word anymore.
I'm going to roll acrobatics because he gets a +1 instead of his +0. So
you can make strength, athletics, acrobatics.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And the guy grappling you makes an athletics check to try and hold on. But I think if it's a DC, then I wouldn't roll.
And what's the DC?
The DC is 15.
Okay, does not make it. As he's just sort of like shit, and pulling back as she begins to like look around, kind of panicked. What are his attacks here? Oh, he's got some dope stuff. Where'd you get that staff?
I've had that forever.
The monks fucking wrecked you with it. I forgot. Ooh, stop. What is my phone doing? It's losing its shit, calling people all the time and all this. All right. I would like you to tell me, Jeff, where is your ring?
It is under my equipment, I believe.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Oh wait, let me use my charges from last time.
No.
No,
You don't
seriously.
know
I
You don't
I
know
had
what charges you. Yeah, what did you use?
I just had the 3 from opening the laser.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Calm down.
Okay. Alrighty. So, okay, what's he doing? Trying to sneak past me?
Leave him alone.
I love it.
Stop bullying him. Look,
And
he's
the
sad.
other ring. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the stuff he's got. Okay. Then I think we're going to change the game here.
No.
And I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to find some stuff. Can you please stop eating boxes? You weirdo.
But you're not paying attention to him.
Might be hungry.
Maybe. So, seeing the impending danger and all of these things, and though there's an army on its way to destroy, about 300 now, 250, let's say now. Esther, the body of Esther, possessed by Beatrice Trice, is going to, now that it has all of his abilities, stop being Esther and change, turning into an enormous monster. As you can see, the wings grow much larger, and there is sort of just this black shadow and darkness surrounding him, as what is being reeled to the ground is no longer the flying form of the drow man, Esther, but is in fact now an enormous dragon, as that is one of Esther's abilities and is now being used. And as the dragon kind of looks down at the Canolith is now just wrapped around its foot, and the Canolith is happily pulling at it, and then looking back at you like it's even cooler now because now it's fighting something bigger.
Look what I caught.
Look what I did! Yeah, and has turned into that, and is now going to try to escape. Can I roll right here? With a +6 to strength. 16 plus 6 is enough to escape, I think, because 16 is literally above that. So it pulls free from the Canolith, yanking its foot, like, get the fuck off, but is now much lower to the ground as Esther was lower. He's maybe about 15 feet above the ground. And at that point, the tyrant leaps up onto it and grabs onto its neck and just starts boom, 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 and like punching it in the face as it just starts like screaming and roaring and kind of swinging around. This thing hits hard, and it's trying to like rip at its scales.
So, try to use strength to break out. Try to use my strength rolls to break out of him.
I just did. I used your dragon strength rolls.
My dragon strength rolls.
Your Draconum Corvus form.
What the shitting fuck is this?
The dragon. I showed it to you. I said, these are your stats. Yeah, there you go.
No, wait, where are they though? Just so I know.
Months ago. Yes, it is your turn. This dragon is fighting your tyrant, and a bunch of bad guys are descending upon you.
All right.
A good number of them.
Does it still have this thing?
Yeah.
All right. I want to levitate up to it. I just want to jam my hand into it.
You are going to have to get attacked by so many. He's eating tape. You're going to get attacked by so many people.
No.
He's running. He ripped tape off of a box. He like kicked it, but it ripped all the tape off, and then he ran because he knew it was.
He knew.
As soon as we started to stand up, he was like, "Oh!" and he hauled it. So,
That's a puppy.
If you just float over to them, you're gonna get a ton of damage because they're all just gonna start shooting and attacking you. You're gonna take opportunity of attack.
But what if, consider this. What if my Canalith, mid-fall, whipped its tongue around, flung her, so she was faster than all of those attacks?
And my hand stuck straight out like this, so I go right in.
I'm gonna say, okay. I'm gonna say what you're proposing
Get
is
shit
ridiculous and
on.
a little too much. But
You're too much.
if what you want to do is make your way over to him, you'll have to cut a swath through them.
I got a swaddle.
A swath with your Shisuva and your tyrant's already over
Well,
there.
they're gonna follow, but they're not gonna follow up in the air. You know what I mean?
Okay. Also, levitating is not flying, and it's gonna take you a while. I don't think you have how much is your movement? 30 feet? You have 30 feet of movement. It's pretty far away. I didn't imagine he was within 30 feet of you. 100 probably. If you want to start making your way to there, we can do it. You're just going to take a bunch of damage. Is that okay? And you won't be there immediately.
Hold on.
Okay, in the meantime, Esther, I want you to make another wisdom saving throw for me.
Stop.
This time with advantage because you are seeing the desperation of what's going on.
22.
It's a lot closer. Still not enough to break out.
Wait, you
But-
said advantage?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Advantage?
Yeah,
Okay. Nope. Okay, yeah, 22.
22. Not enough to break out, but still very good. And as you are desperately trying to force her out of your mind, where she's locked in, her teeth are in you, she's not letting you go. And you can hear her voice now perpetually on and on, but she is not like speaking to you or taunting you like she was before. She is praying to her God. She is praying for Aristride to save her, to give her back her body. And
I'm going to do the same thing,
Yes.
but saying, Draxia, help us. Help me.
So you're going to start praying to Draxia. What do you say to Draxia?
This clown's making a mockery of our mission.
Is that it?
That's it. I think I lagged.
Amidst all the noise, the soldiers getting ravaged by these two Shisuva wolves, and Astrid, she's just probably doing like fire bolts or whatever to get them out of her way and killing them with her pincers and her stinger. As the tyrant is fighting a dragon that is your form, and with the droning, almost tongues-like speech and praying of Beatrice, you reach out to Draxia, and it's not quite the answer you expected, or even really her voice or anything, but you are reconnected through your mind and through the Dusk Keep. And you can feel, the library and its badass warriors, but they are under her control. You can see the blue eyes. All of your spectral servants, you can see the blue eyes. There's one thing within this keep that is not controlled, as it is very difficult to access its mind. Its mind is very sharp and very broken, like a field of broken glass. And it is hateful and angry and scared and nothing but raw emotion. And as you lock into it, you can hear what sounds like Draxia's voice, very distant, very far, but as she's sort of giggling to herself, and you need only to reach out and try to contact this thing, as it is in your keep, and Draxia has given you sort of a lifeline to that.
Is it Larry?
It is in the deepest part of the keep, farthest underground. Had not yet been really reached by Dr. Beatrice's meddling, as she has destroyed your castle. But
I was honestly considering doing that just so he could grapple me. Yeah, fuck it. Wherever that is, I want to make if I can, make a tunnel straight up from wherever it is, straight into the foyer.
As you concentrate, as Beatrice prays, as your prayers may have been answered, you see a tunnel being made near the Dust Keep. You don't have full control yet, but you're gaining back some little by little, as she's getting hers chipped away, as there is a horrible tyrant punching her in the face. Ashley, do you still want your plan to be, or do you want to carve through? You got to carve through some of these guys if you want to get there, essentially.
So how far away is he from me?
I'm going to say, given the size of the courtyard and given the amount of people, he's probably at least 100 to 150 feet away from you. And I think that's even being a little generous and keeping him a little close. She wouldn't have gotten that, you know what I mean? She would have purposely stayed pretty far away. Oh, you're so cute.
I'm gonna do Web of the Soul Eater then.
On all the people in front of you?
No, I'm gonna that eye.
Oh, nice.
His third eye.
Okay. What do I have to do?
I create a beam. Target must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, let me get to Esther. This son of a gunza. Sons of a gunza. Would you like to take a look?
No, just tell me.
It's a natural 20 plus 1. So 21. But your DC is very high.
Yeah, it's 20.
So, what happens?
So you will take hold on. Can you pull up a dice roller for me?
Oh shit, it would have been his dragon form. Whatever, I still made it. Alright, can I pull up your what?
Can you pull up a dice roller for me?
So you just want to roll? Okay, yeah.
You have to roll 10d10.
That's a lot of dice, though. That's a very many of them. That's a very many of them. Hold on, let me pull up his monster. Because that's how much health he has. And I'm doing how many?
10. You take half of that.
Ah, okay, good. All right. That's still not so bad.
Wait, go back to the dragon. What did you roll? 20? Yeah, it's 30. You still win.
Yeah. So 178 times.
Oh, and I get that as temporary hit points.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
That's a very good spell. You can also hit a lot of other things with it, I believe.
Yeah.
Or do you have to kill the first thing you hit?
No, but it's fine. I wasn't trying to.
Okay, so as you slam the dragon with these horrible, like, sickly beams that fly out of your hands, they and slam into the dragon with its glowing third eye as it kind of lurches back. The dragon is going to bite onto the tyrant. So can you tell me how much health the tyrant has, as I do? Probably more than this. I did 12 damage.
That's it?
And probably more than that.
Plus, hold on, plus
Damn, Jeff.
+1 damage.
Ha
I rolled like shit. Yeah, 13 damage.
ha!
The bites aren't what make that dragon dangerous. As it bites onto it and pulls it and tries to and throws it back to the ground as it slams into the ground and just picks himself back up and leaps back up onto the dragon as it's trying to fly away. Mav,
Yes.
is there anything you would like to do?
While all this is going on, I'm gonna try to, I guess, acrobatics my way out of being confined. Like not brute force, but try to like and like try to wiggle out.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
What's 13 plus 17? 30?
I don't even think I need this anymore, honestly, because now all the sets. What'd you get?
Yes.
13 plus 17? 30?
Yeah. So though it hurts and it's kind of like scraping against you, you're able to, and you just and hit the ground, and you die again. No, you
Damn.
look down as you're like, still very, very fucked up. But the Canolith trots over to you and starts nuzzling you. As actually the Canolith comes over to you, now that it was seen as an enemy, there are some enemies dead on its spikes of its armor, as there's like bodies shaking around on it as it's coming over to you.
Can I get my goo to eat those enemies off of my Canolith?
So they
or do they need to be alive?
They need to be alive. But there are enemies that are now kind of turning. I mean, this is a huge, big ass horde. So I'll say some of them are like, and you can start fighting.
I know I can't start fighting. If my goo can pick off a couple of them, then he can go for it. But
yeah. So we'll still a couple of them come running at you. Between you and your Canolith, let's say you're able to eat one. What kind of attack would you do? You have all the poison shit. You have like.
I'm probably. You said they're running at me, right?
Yeah. Do you want to get some health first and then fight?
That's the goal, is to not be at 1 HP. I don't even care if I fight or not. Being at 1 HP is the first problem that I have to deal with.
We'll say the first enemy that comes at you is just a random gnoll, and he's like coming at you with a wooden spear stick, a sharpened stick, and as he rushes at you, he tries to swing the stick, and the Canolith just slaps it out of his hand. And it almost is like the symbiote clotheslines him with like, and it just jams like blades into its eyes and like starts like destroying its body. You get 4 HP back. 1d6.
I'm at 5. Can I also hang on a second?
Who can get to the man? Who can get to the man?
I feel like I
He's
just got.
trying to bother us. Does he need to go outside?
As a bonus action, because I've got a fuck ton of actions in a normal thing, can I lay on hands myself?
Yeah. You have
I took a level in Paladin because high level rogue does fucking nothing. So I'm a level 18 rogue Paladin 1.
Stop chewing on that.
You can absolutely do lay on hands.
Right.
Where'd you
Yeah.
go? You gotta go find mommy. Go find mommy. There he goes. But yeah.
Hang on. I am actually getting my health to where it needs to be on my sheet, so I'm not doing actual math. Okay. I have 10 health. Alright, that's my turn. I get out of the crate, I eat some stuff, and I lay on hands real fast.
You get up to 10 health, and you're good, and it's you and the Canolith. As you flip out your blades, it's you and the Canolith versus it's like 50 people as they're like, ah! The Canolith jumps in front of you and is like, rah! As they start charging of all your own people. But we'll come back to that desperate situation in a minute. Amanda has stepped away to take out our dog because he's being quite a bad boy. But I am going to think that she would just keep making her way towards that fucking dragon. And the tyrant just keeps pummeling it. It is going to lose some more health because he's a big bad boy. as this dragon is throwing this thing to the ground, and it will start ripping at the tyrant and like beating the shit out of it, throwing it kind of further out into the field of people as it gets back up, and other enemies start piling on top of it to try to stop it. And as the dragon kind of flies upward and backwards towards the castle, you can see that as it kind of looks around, figuring out what she wants to do, there is a sound like singing, but one note. And the sky opens as you can see a great light shine down upon the symbol of Eristride that she has made your castle into. And as it shines down onto the top, where you can see she had built a pillar. And on that pillar lays something that the light shines onto. And you can see she turns to it, and she looks to her own body and takes her claws and rips into her own body, ripping it and tearing it and cutting it. And you can see her like, as she starts tearing into your body, Esther, and causes a great deal of damage to herself as the form becomes so weak that it turns back into a human form. It is you, but with very, very low health. And as it does, you hear her in your mind speak to you. And she goes, "We will meet again." And you're in control, but you're falling from the sky as you are essentially unconscious. And as you fall, oh God.
Is she still here?
So she's not in your head, but you're sort of out of it, and you can see Mav, that rising from that pillar is what appears to be two small things, and they connect to each other as they rise up. Esther, I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw while you're falling.
Okay. 21.
Fuck yeah. You are able to regain yourself with your wings. You have quite a pretty gnarly like cut, like a scar kind of across your chest, and you're bleeding heavily. And I want you to go ahead and put yourself at 1 HP. That's what you gave yourself because you woke up, because you Constitution saving throw. But she essentially just tried to like kill you while in your body, but just didn't quite get it because she's desperate. But you are able to fly. And that light is shining at that specific spot. Do you want to start flying towards that? You're quite far away from it.
The light's like Eristride, right?
It is intense, radiant light.
Can you yeet me?
You could yeet. You could yeet her.
Make me Jotun. Yeet me.
Oh wait,
with your catapult or whatever, or your tech.
No, wait, I'm fine. Where is Mav from me?
I'm on the ground.
Probably like 50 feet from you. I think she would have kept Mav a little closer.
Yeet me at her.
You want to fight her?
I mean, I'm guessing what we just witnessed was her head reconnecting to her body. So I'm not assuming that she's in a good spot. So
yeah, fuck it. Then
yeet me.
Telekinesis?
Anything, whatever you've got, just do it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
So there's no roll needed to actually throw Mav, but I am gonna want you to, just to make it that you can chuck him in the right direction. Like how, you know what? Fuck it. No, all right. You pick Mav up. Mav, you float. As Esther, you are very weak. Mav, you are also quite weak. You have 10 HP, right?
Yeah.
Esther, you fucking throw Mav as hard as you can. Mav, you are soaring towards the top. You're not gonna, you'll just about make it. Fuck it. But I do want you to roll dexterity saving throw to not take more damage or as much damage as you're about to.
And I'm standing in the courtyard, right?
You're floating weakly, but yeah, you're above. You don't want to fall because you'd just be torn apart by these brainwashed soldiers.
I have plans. 27
What soldiers?
is my dex saving.
What do you mean? All the soldiers?
The 300 soldiers that were here that were attacking Astrid?
She didn't just she possessed you, and then she
everything
was
in the
able to
castle.
possess everybody else who was here in this area.
Okay.
The ones that came back after we destroyed that town?
So, all right. Yeah. What are you doing, Mav? I'm watching this.
Okay. I rolled a 27 on my dex saving.
So you go soaring. You go into this light, and you're able to tuck and roll and land safely, blade in hand. And what you see before you truly is her head has reconnected to her body. Her third eye is open with the blade sliding out. Oh no, it would have reappeared in your belt. So never mind. And with the third eye open completely, and you can see as she's rising, there is this sound. It is deafening, like a one note of a song of singing, and the light that you are in hurts, and it is heavy, and it is kind of pushing you towards the ground, and it is intense. It is clearly, this is her God's answer to her. She must have been very beloved to him to have been given this boon, but here she is rising again. And as the light is still intense, she is up in the air. What do you want to do?
I want to do two things. I want to first use Toxicity's Face Melter. Once per short rest, you can spray acid onto one target within 5 feet of you. Target must make a DC 18 dex save or take 10d6 acid damage.
You want to spit acid in her face?
I want to, like, if I'm like touch and roll, like, I want to be like, just like claw.
I love it. I
like,
love it.
You're want to throw up on her.
That's
like,
fantastic. And what was the other thing you wanted to do?
Immediately after, chuck my dagger at her. I don't care if it's a stealth or whatever. That does not matter to me. That's the follow up to that.
All right. What is she rolling? A dexterity saving throw?
A dex saving throw. She's gonna get hit with it, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But the dex throw is the
like
half damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a 9 total.
27 acid damage.
Whoop-de-doo! Ouchie, bouchie.
And then does 25 get past her AC?
Yes, it does. It will not be sneak attack.
Yeah, that's fine.
In the holy light of Airstride, you vomit acid on her, like a disgusting fiend you are. Oh, so gross.
The dagger does 23 damage.
Holy fuck, that's really good. So all in all, you did like over 50 damage in that
yes.
one. I did let you attack twice. I don't think you had but whatever. Who cares? This is more cinematic.
Normally it's move, attack, bonus action for me. That's what my normal things are. So technically, I've probably had another action on top of that.
Was that a bonus action to vomit the acid?
I don't know. Is it considered a bonus action? I don't understand this shit.
I think it's an action, but don't sweat it. Don't worry about it because this is.
We'll talk about this later because I
care much more about narrative than I do about mechanics. Anyway, you land this intense energy slamming you down to the ground. You take 4 radiant damage as it's burning you and pressing you down to the column. You and vomit this acid. As you can see, she's smiling and staring up into the light like the face of her god. And she goes, "I am beloved." And the acid onto her face and onto her body as she as it's just burning. And she as the knife gets slammed into her chest. She and kind of roars as she rips it out and slams it to the ground. well, and then it disappears and reappears in your hand as you're also on the ground getting sizzled. And you can see her look up to the light and look back down to you. You can see the wounds closing already within this light. And her voice booms and echoes, but not out into the air, but in your mind, so loud that it hurts. And she goes, "You dare kill the champions of Aristride. You dare try to unroot our peace and our order. I gave you a chance. I came to you with the opportunity to be better." And you can see now this very normal kind of person form that she was with this business casual attire is she's still wearing those clothes, tattered as they are. Her left hand is or right, I can't remember which one was burnt. I think her left hand is like growing its flesh back in this holy light as she is looking upon you in just fury. There is a horrible scar around her neck where her head had to be resealed to her body, but she is in full force roaring at you and rising up, and what you feel you are looking at is no longer this enemy that you are fighting. You are looking at a true champion of a god. More so that it feels more like that in this fight than it has with any of the other champions. She is truly being gifted with power. And I want you to make a wisdom saving throw, as I feel like this is probably pretty frightening for a fiend to behold.
16.
16? So it is terrifying. And you can't move any closer to her, but you throw weapons anyway. You can still attack her, but you don't feel like you are averse to this. You were scared of devils, strong devils. This is like borderline angelic. This is something fucking else, and it's terrifying. And as she looks upon you, she goes, "You will know the wrath of our God. You will know his judgment. You will know the fury of Aristride." Yes?
How fast can Esther fly while she's monologuing?
Oh, just get to me. I have an idea if we want to merc.
It's like such a stereotype, right? You get the bad guy in the middle of a monologue.
So Esther, give me 2 seconds. She goes, "You will answer for your crimes, and I will be there when you are broken, when you are shattered, to build you back up again into something greater, something better." And as she raises her now fully healed hand, you can feel that this horrible feeling in your mind. This almost like washing you away. You can't look away. It's like she's trying to just erase you, or your brain, or your memories. Reaching in there and trying to find it, and you hear something. As you look into her glowing eyes and her glowing third in this radiant light, you hear a voice different from hers. You hear something disgustingly beautiful sounding, if that's the right way to describe it.
Shawty's like a melody in my head that I...
Win my game. You hear in your mind, "Worry not. It will all be over soon, and this land will be cleansed." And as you look upon this, horrified, you see her smiling when a chain is thrown around her body, wrapping twice around with a gnarly hook at the other end, digging into her ribs, and she is whipped to the ground with a mighty force, slamming her with some blood spurting out. And again, she is whipped in the air and slammed into a side of the column and slammed to the ground. The light from the sky kind of shudders and fades. And rising from the smoke of her landing in the concrete with her own screams of agony, you can see a great figure of muscle and twisted metal. Shards of metal sticking out of him and wrapped in chains of agony, with nothing but a twisted metal helmet wrapped around his head. A pale, horrific imitation of what it once was. And you hear from within this helmet.
Toot toot.
No, not yet. You hear broken. And she gets slammed again. Shattered. Minds destroyed. And she goes up into the air and slams to the ground. Esther, you're faster and faster on your way getting there. Mav, you are recovering from this. And as the soldiers on the ground start to kind of catch themselves, as it's harder for her to maintain any of this control, you see as she gets whipped to the ground one more time, and this huge brute standing over her goes, "Minds torn asunder by devils and angels," as he lifts her up and throws her at the spiking sort of spire of the son of the Aristride, and she slams into it, this solid metal frame. She coughs up some blood with the chain no longer around her. She kind of confused, terrified. She reaches out in an attempt to sort of attack his mind in a way, and as she reaches in, you see him kind of stare back as she screams in agony at whatever she found. And you can see her kind of crawling back from him, from this thing that I don't think you've seen
might have caused some damage
this entire
there.
game, as it's just whatever this creature is emerged from Esther's keep somewhere deep within its bowels, and she screams as she reaches back and she goes, "What twisted mind? What happened to this thing? It is like living agony." And he goes, "Every waking moment," and crushes his foot into the stone. "Of my existence is a living hell that I will unleash upon all in my way." And he raises his voice, his head to the skies. He kind of flexes his arms and goes, and charges her in just full fury as she goes, and she pulls out the small letter opener and just boom, slams her through the broken spire of Aristride's symbol as he goes toppling over the castle, laughing maniacally in hate and wrath as he goes falling, as we see the battlefield, as we see the tyrant ripping someone in half, as he has spears, swords, and bullet holes in his body that are slowly healing, as you see the Shisuba ripping
What
at
are you
soldiers,
laughing at?
ripping at soldiers that are now kind of awakening, as you can see Mav rising up, confused as all fuck.
What the fuck is this?
As you see Astrid, as she is holding two soldiers in her claws and just kind of crushing their throats. I would say probably nonchalantly, joyously watching this.
I'll tell you in a second.
Joyous or joyless? I enjoy watching her get all slammed off the desk. Cool. So maybe a small smirk in this horrible lich form as you smile as some of the dead bodies begin to rise around you. One of the things I would have assumed that you would have done is, as all the dead bodies start rising, is you kind of smile as she is falling. And you can see like blood coming from her as she falls. Esther, you are heading towards her. She is badly, badly beaten and wounded by a now very corrupted and twisted and horribly tortured for the better part of like a year and a half.
Yeah, he's been down there for a while.
This ape, this superpowered being has beaten the shit out of her, and she is falling with no real recourse and is still very much in agonizing pain. You are soaring directly to her. What is it you wanted to do? She took over you. She broke your castle. She hurt your bird, maybe killed it. And what do you do? You can get to her before she hits the ground.
I'm just gonna cast Disintegrate. Fuck it.
Nothing poetic, just the good. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you're gonna cast Disintegrate on her?
Yes. She has to be.
Listen, not. Listen, buddy. I care more about how do you want this to go. I mean, what are we seeing? I laid out this scene as she is falling. I imagine the camera's looking at her as she is falling. Does she like?
Oh, wait.
I'm almost imagining. Do you want something else?
If you, for poetic's sake, if you will allow me to change spell.
Disintegration can be just as great poetically. We can absolutely make this work. But what else? I'm giving you the chance to do whatever you want right now.
You allow me to chain the spell. I want to telekinesis, grab her before she hits the ground, and then cast Disintegrate. So she's like saved for a second.
So she sees you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you catch her? Is it like by the throat, or like almost like you're saving her from falling? Like do you catch her like an angel?
Almost like she's being saved, like she's in a safety net.
So you catch her like hand under the head and arms under the leg.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Fuck it.
Yeah. So as she falls, she
as my computer starts shitting the bed.
Broken bones and broken rib cages. You can see her coughing, and she looks up to you. One of her eyes completely, all the capillaries are fucking popped from just the force, and she's bleeding out of her ear and her nose as she looks at you like, and you look down upon her with those same cold, dead, emotionless eyes. And does she feel it? Does she feel the disintegration, or does she not even know before it's too late?
I feel cold, Mr. Stark.
Once more with feeling.
Is that what you say to her?
Yes, because I just tried to do this.
I love it. Once more with, and as you look upon her, she and tries to scream, but because your hand was around her throat, that begins to go. And her body begins to disintegrate in your hands. And as Esther is flying high above this essentially now dying down war zone of raised bodies and confused soldiers, you float there with the horizon behind you as one of the last remaining champions disintegrates in your hands as she just blows away in the wind.
All the dust.
And you just brush her off of you like common dirt off of your nice cool robes. And as her piece falls to the ground.
Almost lost my cool there.
I feel like you definitely actually said that under your breath up in the sky.
Oh yeah, no.
That's too good. And you lower back to the ground, I assume. Everyone is returned back to their original state. Their minds brought back to themselves. And the champion is dead. Mav, you're looking over the keep down to the ground.
No. Very quietly from on the top of the keep, he's like splayed out. You just hear help.
As you're sitting there, help. The skin curls around, and you see like an eye pop up, and you go and like teeth, and he goes, "That was pretty crazy. Help. Are we like best friends now?
Put me in the water."
What's your favorite color?
We're going to the jacuzzi now. Everybody to the jacuzzi.
Okay, I'll get us to the teleporter. And
to the teleporter.
It's dragging you by your head towards the edge of the keep. As you're like, oh god. Down at the bottom of the keep, Esther, as you land, you can see rising from a crater that he made by simply falling that great height. Walks Locomotive Larry in his new horrific form, which I do have And since this was his actual reveal, we aren't in person playing, and I've had this figure for like a year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I have
There's
a figure. I'll be right back. I know we're near the end of the thing. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Oh shit.
Jeff, do you want to know why I was losing my shit?
Why?
While the Locomotive Larry thing was going on, I found a remix of My Neck, My Back with the Thomas the Tank Engine song.
Is that what you sent to the group?
That's what I said to the group chat. It was a comedy of errors. It's just... I highly suggest anyone watching this video, if you're watching this now, go back to when I start laughing, play this music over it, and realize how much it adds to the whole experience.
I'll link it in the description.
Please do. Do you understand?
Someone's got it.
While he's like beating the
It's
shit out of
so
her.
good.
Look at him.
Oh, look at him.
One.
Oh,
might
that
have
looks
done
so
some-
good.
Might have done some damage there.
So this is technically like the figure is like something else. It's from the
That's
Blood
great.
Circus. But
Hellraiser Larry.
well, this is a new D&D thing actually. This is legit. He's a Rakdos ogre, but come on, it was so perfect. The twisted metal all over him in chains.
Yeah.
So that is what rises out of the crater. That is what you have made with your hard work and with making sure that you had something specifically designed not to challenge him physically, but instead to enable him physically and destroy him mentally for like a year and
We
something.
did it.
Every single minute of every single day. And you have created this great creature as it just walks out to see you and stares at you.
I want to just open a tunnel in the courtyard that just goes way back to the like 8 sub-layers of the castle.
He looks and begins to walk kind of mindlessly, dragging his chains down to the only home he knows now.
Yay!
Yay!
You have
A son! You little son!
I have a
A
boy.
beautiful, beautiful son. And
I have Mr. Marbles and Locomotive Larry.
as you watch Locomotive Larry walking back down there with, I would say, Esther has to feel some pride. Does he feel some pride in that moment?
Just a little.
Just not too much. As you look upon that, Astrid, as you look upon your tyrant having been tested for the first time in like a real war, doing quite well. He did quite well. He went up against a fucking dragon and held his own. And Mavakos, dragging yourself towards the Lacuna pool, all of you are in cold stone floors
Creamery.
and rooms. Stop it. And with the sounds of horrific carnage and battle outside the walls, and sitting on a throne of twisted metal and bodies is the 15-foot-tall form of Draxia herself. And she sits there looking at you, and she looks at what appears to be an hourglass, and she taps it, and it spins around and like flips upside down, and the sand starts pouring out. And as she looks at the sand, she like whispers something to it, and you can hear it start to scream in Beatrice's voice. And Draxia smiles.
Because she was
Just
disintegrated.
sand. It's a bunch of sand. Yeah. But you did it, you know. So we will end there.
We can make Nesquik with her next session.
You can. If you would
Well,
like to drink
ew.
her, just ask Draxia.
I
Just
will.
ask.
Okay, you want to make some chalky milk with her? That's
It's a
perfectly
chalky
fine.
milk.
First.
Dude, Champion's chalky milk. We should make t-shirts. So that's it. That's our game this time. Champion
We did it.
defeated.
Oh my God.
Though the plan almost went awry. but
Almost it went awry.
Yeah. you
I have 1 hit point.
you've been doing weakest champions to strongest champions essentially. So
I got to join in the middle of that.
You've only
I don't know who weakest champions is.
you have killed 7 champions.
The first champion was kind of like a comedy
Well-
of errors, fighting a guy at a local church.
Yeah, that was
According
and that
to
was
the
our
church.
first. That was our first test of doing like a legit Dungeons and Dragons boss fight, which just takes far too long. I tried to do that as by the books as I could, and it was awful. Like, oh my
It's rough.
goodness. So I really try to whatever the damage.
Keep it going,
Sometimes
keep
it's
it
more
going.
damage than it should be, just to make things faster. I never make things less damage. I always make them more, just to make everything suck more. But yeah, 7
Good-
champions
good-
down,
good
guys.
times.
You know who's left, right?
7 more.
No.
When we're able to, Electric McBoogaloo. Well, yeah, that's it. When We Were Evil is now over.
The end.
No.
Thank God.
You still have the king. But that was fucking awesome. Well done. You kicked ass and took names.
No. We had our asses handed to us and we barely got out of there.
You beat the shit out of her at the
It
end.
was
It's
it was the
just that
2
when
of us
she-
though.
when she
We didn't have the
dies-
whole Avengers.
When she dies, she has the opportunity to possess somebody. And then
It sucked.
I have
It
to
sucked
be
in a
more
good way, but it
mindful.
sucked.
I have to be more mindful on the double tap.
yeah. Well, I mean, you were as mindful as you could have been. She had a knife in her head. Like, why would you believe that she could, her body was completely useless. Her brain shut down.
Very good.
Oh, man.
But well done, guys. Oh my god, my voice is going. And I have to take my dog out to run him around and exercise.
Okay.
Let's cut the recording right now. And thanks for watching.
Bye, gang.
Oh no, I stopped my video instead of stopping my recording.